Oh, what's cracking? It's Goodfellas. We back again.
Well, he just over there just saying about
Yeah.
about North Carolina,
What's your
North Carolina college
man?
basketball.
What's up? What you got to say?
Who ruled the state?
Dude, it's no questions.
Says what?
Is that an opinion or facts?
It's a fact.
That's an opinion, right? That ain't what the numbers say.
Do you believe in numbers? Or do you
That ain't what the numbers say.
I believe in magic.
Johnson? Well, we roll right into it now. Hey, we back, y'all. A-Will, 5, boy Dougie. Hey, we got a lot to talk about, man. Super Bowl recap. Y'all want to get right into it? Black History Month.
Dang, y'all on the game?
It was a snoozer.
It was a defensive.
It was.
It was a defensive
But,
game.
dude, that was boring.
Y'all just been spoiled, man. That's all it is. Spoiled.
Spoiled by what?
The past 3 Super Bowls.
Bro, that was the lowest scoring game in history.
I agree, but that was good. That was good defense.
No, Patriots played, but I mean,
And not even just the Patriots. The Rams played great defense.
what Shiggy say? If you're the Rams, these your LA Rams. You got 3 points. I mean, they couldn't, man. I don't know, bro. That was boring, bro.
Hey, your boy Cooks let you down.
Cooks?
Yeah, they dropped 2 passes. 2 of them. One was a both of them was a touchdown.
Yeah, he played well though. Besides the two drops.
Don't
he
you
played
give
well.
me those 4
played
garbage
well.
catches.
Besides the 2 drops, he played well.
He played well.
He had 4 catches
Man.
when it meant nothing.
I mean,
They
still
catches.
catches. I mean, they only had 3 points. I mean, shit. I mean, 4 catches.
Bro.
4 catches is like a 40-yard rush at that point.
Hey,
I
man.
mean, Jesus.
Final score 13-3. Patriots capture another Super Bowl. That's number 6 for the GOAT.
6.
If you don't know who the GOAT is by now,
Something wrong with
something wrong with you. All right? I feel like it's almost not even debatable anymore. Like, he keeps playing. He could win, like, 8?
So that's the question I was going to ask. Like, if Brady legit plays another 4 years, and everything stays the same. Let's say Gronk comes back, plays another 2-3 years. Could the Patriots really win? Like, just another, not 2, but just 1.
I think so.
Possibly. I mean, you got to have a lot of luck on your side as far as injuries, especially in football. But, I mean, it's very possible. Very possible. I would agree.
That's crazy.
And teams aren't getting any better either.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, we haven't. I mean, it's not like people have like,
Yeah.
bridged the gap. I should sort of say. I mean,
Can they go back to back though? That's what I want to see. I would want to see them go back to back. One more time.
That's tough.
To me, that would be impressive for him to go back to back 2 times in his career.
That's tough.
I think that
When's
was
the last time it happened in football? I think it was 80s and 70s.
No,
the Patriots did it. 04 was it 04?
03, 04.
03, 04.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's hard, man.
Because they won, I think it was
Even that, that's 15 years ago.
Yeah.
That's 15.
But the crazy. So look, this is even crazier, right? They just went to 3 straight Super Bowls. They were a strip, sack, fumble,
Mm-hmm.
probably away from winning 3 in a row.
Yeah.
3, and that the reason I say now, like to get to a 4th Super Bowl,
Yeah.
4 in a row, bro, you need a lot of. Listen, the football guys
Got done before though.
Yeah, I mean, it has, but that was a different era.
I agree. I agree.
You know,
The injury bug it just seems to always get great teams.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere down the road.
or it's, another team just gets hot, and just they just.
And that's actually been the teams that's been the Patriots' downfall. Actually, the teams that have just been hot. Yeah, they haven't even been like
Good.
good teams. Like they just are hot at the right time and they make plays when they need to.
Yeah.
So MVP of the Super Bowl, Julian Edelman, was at 10 receptions, 141 yards,
Yeah.
0 touchdowns. But I've seen a lot of people say they thought someone on the defensive side of the football should have won MVP. You, as the Patriots fan, Stan, how do you feel?
I feel like for a defensive player to win the MVP in the Super Bowl, you have to do something. Like, you have to have those out-of-body stats. Like I told y'all earlier, Gilmore only had 1 interception. He had the forced fumble. He had the 5 pass breakups. If he would have had 2 interceptions, or if he would have recovered that fumble,
Right.
if maybe he would have had a pick 6, he would have won it in my eyes.
Okay.
But his interception was huge. But then, and the fumble, actually that fumble was huge too.
Right.
That fumble was huge. But it wasn't, I feel like the fumble recovery, if somebody would have recovered it, it would have had more of an impact on the game.
Okay.
The interception sealed the game. The fumble would have put the Patriots in scoring position, and they would have been able to score at that moment. So that would have definitely been like a game changer, not a game sealer.
Gotcha.
I also think Dante Hightower, if he would have had a strip sack fumble, because he had 2 sacks, but if one of them would have been a strip sack fumble, that might have, you know what I'm saying, allowed him to win it. But I wouldn't have been mad if either one of those two won. And I was telling 5 all game, Julian Edelman won the MVP.
Yeah.
I'm like, if the Patriots win, he won the MVP. Every drive they had, he had at least 2 or 3 catches in that drive. And he was breaking down Talib, he was breaking down Peters, whoever they slot on is, the guy that played NFL Blitz 2 weeks before. He was killing him. Yeah, that was lunch.
So let me ask you this, 5. Do you feel if the Saints would have represented the NFC, we would have had a much better game?
No.
Ooh. You don't think so?
They were playing just as bad as offense as the Rams was. And the Rams actually were somewhat kind of clicking on offense. The Saints just weren't clicking on offense at all the last 4 or 5 games of the year. And man, me and Will actually watched the game together. And it was the same thing every defensive possession. The Patriots were getting pressure with just 4, rushing 4 people. And it didn't matter if they were dropping a lineman in coverage and then bringing a linebacker. They were just rushing just with 4. When you're getting pressure with 4 guys and you can just drop everybody else back in coverage,
You're done.
You're done. You're done. They didn't run the ball enough. They came out and said early on. The reports were that Gurley was going to be involved,
Bro.
heavy and early,
Bro.
and none of that was the case. He had 1 carry in the first
Is he hurt?
quarter and a half.
Because I think the halftime they said it again. He got his 4th carry, or 3rd carry.
That last series of the halftime, he had 2 or 3 carries.
He had 10 for the game.
No, but we were sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
Me and 5 was watching it, and they came out Gurley gonna be heavily involved in the game. And he ran the ball 1 time, and then 5 was like, "Where's Gurley? What's happening?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then we was telling people he had 3 carries.
Mm-hmm.
But before halftime, we tell him no, he had 3 carries. He had 3 carries. No, he got to halftime with 3 carries, and he had 2. After we said
it. So he had only had 1 carry.
The entire first quarter.
The entire first quarter and most of the second quarter.
He had 1 carry.
He's hurt, man. Nobody can tell me different. I think it's something with his knee, because I heard the announcer say some days he wakes up and it's bothering him.
Deion Sanders said it. Deion Sanders did say, he's if you think he's not hurt, you got to be shitting yourself.
Yeah, but it's their kicker was hurt. Their kicker was in the boot on his kicking. I think it was his plant foot. He was in a boot for 2 weeks after they won. He was in a boot the day after they won, all the way up until the Super Bowl.
And got hurt in the first play of the game.
And you're right. And aggravated because he made the tackle.
He had to make the tackle. Yeah.
And if the kicker out there sucking, bro, it's the Super Bowl.
And the kicker made a 45-yarder.
Yeah.
To give them the only points they had in the game.
Man, it reminded me of LT when he used to get hurt and not be out there when the Chargers needed him the most in a few playoff series. So
you trying to take it there?
Man, dude.
Was that Jay Cutler-esque?
Huh?
Was that Jay Cutler-esque?
I'd rather not go down that path.
Okay.
I saw some effort for him, but it's just
some had to. I think something.
Stage.
Man, I want to know what's really wrong with that dude.
So okay. So let me ask this question: Is it a matter of? So this is where I'm gonna take it back to the coaches versus players. Is that a coach overthinking and saying you don't look good, so let me go with the hot hand and C.J. Anderson, or is that the player really not giving it his all, or not looking enthused, or running with power or speed, or running with purpose? Because 5, you said that a lot. CJ Anderson is running with purpose, but I kept saying like, yeah, he running with purpose, but he getting like 2-3 yards, maybe 4 at the most. And then we saw Gurley break one, and he was like, that's the first time I seen him run with purpose, and they got called back. But as soon as he did that, it was like they went away from it, and he went right back to the bench.
Yeah.
So it's like, is the coach was Sean McVay overthinking it, or was Gurley really not running with purpose?
I'm gonna say I think something really wrong with him, and I don't think that McVay wanted to damage whatever is wrong with him anymore because it was obvious he wasn't himself. And for them just all of a sudden not to be going to him like that, it's something wrong with him. It's not just because they just changing up their game plan, like, oh, let's just not go to Todd Gurley. He's hurt. He's hurt. They tried to hide it, but bro, he's not even on the field. He's not even participating. He can't even get a participation trophy. You know what I mean?
Even a threat to pass.
Bro, like,
My thing is, if he knows he's hurt, don't come out in the media and say he's going to be involved heavily and early. That's a complete, like, if you're doing anything, you're tarnishing his, like, whatever he has going on at the time. Because we did see him as being the MVP candidate. We did see him as being a difference maker in these type of games. And when you're saying he's going to be involved heavily and early, and he gets 1 carry in the first quarter, all right, and then he gets 2 carries in the second, and he has 3 carries going into the half. I mean, I got a problem with that. I mean, you're putting him in a bad situation, so now it's kind of looking like him. And I know that he probably doesn't think like that.
right.
He might have been hurt. He might have couldn't take on that workload we've also said about that. We talked about his workload a lot early on in the season.
Yeah.
20, 30 touches. What is that going to do to the body? What does that do to running backs? And it could have cost them a Super Bowl, actually. Like he might have had too much workload early. It might have brought CJ Anderson on a little bit too later in the season to kind of revamp him and give him some breaks. And it could have cost them a Super Bowl, to be honest with you.
Man, so I mean, with that being said, like, do you think he was hurt?
Yes, but I also think he didn't try to play through it all the way.
Okay.
I mean, and the only reason I say that because I'm probably comparing that to some other guys that we've seen go out there and play hurt. Guys like T.O.
Yeah.
And let it be known that T.O. performance was incredible. It'd be incredible if he was healthy, let alone a guy who coming off a leg injury.
One leg.
Broke his leg.
You know what I'm saying? So that performance, but I need to at least see some type of effort like that.
Yeah.
You're on the biggest stage of your career. You may not ever get there.
Man,
ever again.
Ask Cam Newton.
You know what I'm saying? You may not ever get there ever again. I gotta see you play like you may not ever be able to have this opportunity again. And I didn't feel like he had that. But he had that one play, he ran it. I felt like they might have got in his head because they got called back for holding. Could have gotten his head a little bit, but he didn't get too much.
And you said something about that. You said something about that. Like when we was watching it.
Yeah.
When they called it back. His
Fighting
demeanor was just
smiling was all out. He fighting like finally I got one and didn't mean anything.
Bring it back.
He was shaking it. He was shaking his head like rolling his eyes and everything.
I think it was more mental than it was physical, to be honest with you. So I mean, that has a part that a mental. A lot of people forget how big a mental has to do with the game, and especially with a game like that.
So do y'all think, like when we were talking about them saying that he was going to be a big part of the game plan, do you think they were saying that just as like strategic, trying to make the Patriots believe like, hey, he's going to be involved? Trying to make them gear up for him.
Bill don't care about none of that.
I mean, I know he don't, but do you think? I think it was strategic. I think they didn't have because they can't come out and say he's hurt.
The Patriots had a game plan, and the Patriots' game plan was: we gonna rush 4, we gonna drop 8, we gonna let y'all have whatever rush yards y'all want. We gonna let y'all run the ball like crazy, but when it come down to it, we gonna make Jared Goff have to beat us with his arms, and he gonna see something he ain't never seen before, and they executed that perfectly.
And Will kind of talked about it earlier. The one chance that they had was when Cooks had that
in the end zone,
the end zone,
and then Goff floated it up
he
there.
floated right there. It was right in his arms.
And Jason
Actually, it was
McCourty
twice.
did twice. That's what I'm saying. The one time he was in the end zone,
He did throw it to him late though.
he
Man.
threw it
The first
late,
time he did throw it to
but
him
it
late.
hit both his hands. And Jason McCourty had to sprint from the other side of the
Yes,
field
absolutely.
to catch him, just to hit his arm a little bit. And then the other one, it hit him boom, right there.
Yeah,
And then Deron Harmon just hit him, and boom.
he's got to catch those.
You got to catch both of them.
Especially when the Patriots defense is playing as good as they were.
Oh yeah, you got to catch.
Brady said-
Goff had no time, and that was supposed to be one of the best offensive lines in football.
Best defensive game Patriots played all year, hands down. Hands down.
Nobody could have saw that coming.
No.
Hands down.
I think so. I know A will talk a lot about how people have been saying that they've been down the Patriots. They've been doubting if they can win it again. I think it was more just kind of watching that game. I think it was more defense on the Patriots than it was offense.
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody has faith in Brady. I mean, if you don't have faith in Brady, you shouldn't be watching football. But I think it was more defense on the side of the ball, and I don't think anybody was prepared for them to play like that. And they showed up.
They did, and I will say, my Bears would have put up a better fight than the Rams.
And I will say you are dead ass wrong.
Nah, my Bears would have put up a better fight. We got running backs that actually run the ball.
If the Rams could score 3 points, the Bears damn sure won't score no points on them.
I feel like the Bears would have played better against the Saints. Now we had the Rams number, and hey, we'll be back. We'll be in Miami
10-degree
next year.
weather.
Huh?
Y'all be
Playing in
who?
10-degree
We'll be
weather.
in Miami next year. Bears, the team,
Are we putting money on that?
the team,
Are we putting money on that?
the team.
I hear you.
I'll talk
money.
to you. I have my people talk to your people. We do
Okay,
lunch.
all right.
We do lunch.
Okay.
So with this championship, Brady's now got 6. So I've been seeing a lot of people, they got the pictures of him and Jordan with the 6 rings. Brady's 41. Still looking like he's 30, right? So where do we rank Brady all time as far as greatest athletes? Not even talking about is he the greatest quarterback, because I feel like that discussion is if I got to talk to you about why Tom Brady isn't the greatest quarterback, I don't need to be talking to you at this point. So I'm talking about in sports in general. You got your Bill Russells, you got Michael Jordan, you got Muhammad Ali, you got all these great athletes. Where does Brady rank? Where would you put him? See, top 5? Or even with just Jordan. I've been seeing some people say, I will take Brady's legacy and what he's accomplished in his career, especially at the age that he's at, playing at this high level, over Jordan.
Okay, so me and Five, during the game, we kind of talked about this a little bit, right? And Five was it was after the game, as a matter of fact. And Five was the difference between the Bulls in the 90s and the Patriots right now is the owner in New England loves his star players, right? And the Bulls, the owners, they didn't like their star players, right? So that was the demise of both of them. So I agree with him when he says if Reinsdorf and Krause love Mike, if they love Bill, the Bulls would have ran the 90s. Right? So Five said from 91 to 2000, they would have won. Right?
Man, it's a long time.
But the reason I'm going to say Brady, the only reason I'm going to say Brady is because, to me, just basketball in the 90s, there wasn't a lot of moves as far as free agency was concerned.
Right.
The biggest move that I can remember right now as far as free agency is concerned is Shaq going from Orlando to LA. And that was, 96? 96. No other star marquee franchise player moved in free agency in the 90s. So I think a lot of the Bulls teams would have stayed the same.
Okay.
The thing that I like most about the Patriots is they do have consistent players, but they've lost a lot of players as well. They've lost a lot of, when I say players, I mean key contributors.
Right.
They lost a lot of them. Whether Bill traded them, released them, whether they, signed somewhere else. Even if you look at last year's team versus this year's team, Malcolm Butler, gone.
Yeah.
Deion Lewis, gone. Brandon Cooks, traded.
Yeah.
Malcolm Mitchell, gone. Those were 4 key contributors to their team that they no longer have, and they had to replace all of them. And they did, like, I don't want to say they did it easily, but they did it, and they were able to get back, and not only get back, but they won. So I just think like the movement that you see in the NFL as far as free agency is concerned, it makes it a little tougher for what Brady is doing year in and year out. So I'd say I take Brady over Mike in that aspect. So I guess all time, based on who I've seen, I gotta take Brady just for that aspect. Like just from that alone. Like not athletically, none of that. No, just strictly like take a group of guys, change your roster over, go win. I gotta go with Brady.
And he can still win more. Like, it's
He
not like he
definitely
retired.
can. He probably
You know
can
what I'm
win.
saying?
I think they can win one more.
Whew, that's 7 Super Bowls, bro. That's 7.
So
7 days in a week. 7 Super Bowls.
7 Super Bowls.
Who you taking? Wait, where are you ranking Brady? And then I want to continue with the him versus Jordan.
first of all,
The people need to know.
don't rank nobody with Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
I'm with you on that.
Come on.
I'm with you on that.
Don't do that.
110%.
When I think about all-time athletes, I think about guys who revolutionized their sport. I think about Michael Jordan, who basically kind of put basketball on live TV. Like, games were still getting tape delays in the 80s. And I felt like Mike put them on a whole plateau to say, hey, this guy is so prime time and so dynamite that we got to go live with him and people will watch. Michael Jordan's always going to be my number one all-time athlete. I think about some other guys who probably going to be in the mix. I think about Tiger Woods.
Mhm.
Tiger Woods got black people playing golf, y'all. I mean, let's just keep it honest. Let's just keep it honest. Like, Tiger Woods has black people playing golf. And even to this day, like, even after, like, a huge fall off, like, Tiger's had, like, a mini resurgence, like, in the last year and a half, 2 years. And all of a sudden,
Oh, yeah.
people are back watching golf again, you know? So
I agree
that's
with that.
how big Tiger Woods is, you know? Muhammad Ali,
Yeah.
I mean, what can I say? I mean, he's the greatest. I mean, he's the champ. I mean, if you talk to any great boxer, they mention Muhammad Ali. I mean, that's just plain off the top. I mean, they mention Muhammad Ali. Other guys that I would put, so after those three guys, I think now we can start talking about Brady. And I
Okay.
started mentioning him with guys like Michael Phelps,
Serena.
Um,
Yeah.
Deion Sanders. Played 2 sports.
Deion Sanders just a freak athlete. I don't
Like,
know if I would
yeah,
say he was the
As far as like winning.
athletes of all time. Like I'll say he's a
Man.
freak athlete, like Bo
He was-
Jackson.
But wait,
Him
wait.
and Bo Jackson are freak
Hold
athletes.
on. Deion Sanders. A lot of people forget this. In 94, he won with the 49ers. He flipped and went to the Cowboys in 95, and they won the Super Bowl. So and that was Deion.
I'm not saying he's a loser.
No, I'm not saying you saying he's a
No, I'm
loser,
not
but
saying
I
he's a
see what
loser.
Boop's saying when he mentioned Deion.
He has won. Like he has won. Like don't get me wrong, and made a difference too.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I mean Deion,
Prime
the
time.
leader in any defense
Yeah.
that he's been on that's been a winning team. Like period, point blank period. But I would say like he's more of a freak of nature, like like Randy Moss,
Okay,
like Bo
okay,
Jackson,
okay.
like those guys are freaks of nature. Like, like Brady, Phelps, Serena.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who else. I mean Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
I mean you get to go on like Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky got to be like in that Muhammad Ali, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady type category. So I mean, it's tough. I can't put him top 3 just because of, like I said.
Jerry Rice.
I mean, if you're saying Tom Brady's the GOAT, I mean, how can you put Jerry Rice in the category? I do think Jerry Rice is the best wide receiver of all time, and it's not even close. I mean, whether you want to go the Randy Moss route, Terrell Owens, I don't care. Like Jerry was a different beast. But when we talk about greatest athletes of all time, I will put Brady in that Wayne Gretzky, Serena Williams, Michael Phelps, I will put him in that type of tier. I can't put him in that top 3 though. I just can't do it. Like Tiger Woods and Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan will like always be the best 3. And I haven't gone to baseball players. I can go to some baseball players because me personally, I'm a Barry Bonds fan. Like whether y'all want to talk about steroids or not, I mean, unless you've proven that this man is.
We know he did.
We know he did. But his numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah.
But I think Barry. So I heard this one day. I was watching Wingo and Gola, and somebody had made mention. I can't remember who it was. But they said Barry was just like he was good before the steroids, right? But he was just doing what everybody else was doing. So he kind of fell in that. Oh, you doing it? You doing it? You doing it? All right, well I'm gonna do it too.
And then he became extra.
And, it was just like
he was out of the water, better than everybody. I mean, he was already better than everybody.
Right. Then it just took it to a whole nother level.
Took the power to a level that we can't even imagine.
I mean, but you go into those type of players, Willie Mays, you want to start bringing some of the great baseball players into the mix. I mean, you can too. But I'm gonna put him in that second tier though.
Ooh.
I mean, and that's not a bad tier to be.
No, it's not. How many more does he have to win for you to put him in that
Man, even 1 or 2 more. I mean, I would, especially past 41. I mean, if you can continue to win rings at 42 and 43, that's saying something. I mean, and have something to do with it too.
Yeah.
And have something to do with it. If he can have something to do with it, not just be. And he said it too. He said, "I retire when I suck."
Yeah.
I mean, he flat out said that. He's like, "I will retire when I suck." So we'll see how much longer he has.
Oh man.
Where you got him, man? Where you got him? He in your top tier? He better than
Michael Jeffrey Jordan is the greatest of all time. Don't ask me anything different. I will tell you the same. I will say this, man. As far as revolutionizing the quarterback position, I think Brady is doing that with his age and still being able to outperform guys that are in their prime. I will give him that. So I do have Brady, when it comes to just all-time greats, how do you not have this dude that's won 6 Super Bowls in the hardest sport to arguably be dominant in?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And the fact that he can still win a couple more, nah, man, he's in there. Above Jordan, no. Above Jordan, no. I can't put him above.
So you
Mike.
got number 2?
So you got number 2 on
I won't say he would make my top 3.
He would make your top.
He would make my top 3.
So who's your top 3 then? Come on now.
My top 3 is gonna be Mike. He's gonna be number 1, and then Brady, and then I would have to say, I mean, just from a domination just aspect. I mean, I'll say Ali. I would say Ali. It would be Ali or maybe Russell, because Russell's got 11 rings though. I would have to decide on that, but Brady's in there.
Yeah, the 9 as a player though.
Yeah.
As a coach, right?
Yeah. So, but Brady's in there, man. Especially football. There's a lot of great athletes, but I've never seen somebody do what he's doing. He's showing you that you can play the game of football as a quarterback
All right. So
into your 40s.
So I got a question for y'all. All right. Somebody was talking about this on NBA TV.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I was watching the starters.
Here you go.
The starters.
This is they mentioned this, right? They said that everybody likes to talk about winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about rings.
Yeah.
I like to talk about being a revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Doing something outside of your sport.
Mm-hmm.
Winning at an old age.
Okay.
All right. Why doesn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar get any love? Kareem had a shout out earlier on Instagram today. I don't know if you all saw it, but Kareem is on Instagram. He had a photo of showcasing his 6 rings and congratulating Tom Brady on his 6th ring. And why does Kareem Abdul-Jabbar not get the love that he gets? He's the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. He has 6 NBA championships, and he's won young, he's won old, and was pretty dominant in his entire career.
So I'm gonna just say.
Oh, hold on. And he's done a lot more outside of his sport than probably 95% of athletes.
So for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I only go when I talk about the greatest. I try not to get caught up in those I never saw. And so I was having this talk with my coworker, and I said sometimes it's better to be able to watch something without knowing like the stats, the accolades, and all that, so you can actually get a better feel for, okay, this guy's good, right? And then when you go look at the stats and accolades, like, oh, he was pretty damn good. So for me, I always try to keep it in those athletes that I've seen.
Sure.
Like I've only heard about Kareem. I never saw Kareem. Yeah, I can go back and watch the old NBA games on YouTube or catch them when they show it on NBA TV, but I've already seen the stats. So to me, I'm looking at it in the lens of this guy is great. Hey, like it's nothing he could do wrong because I know what he's already accomplished. If it was the reverse and I saw him and then looked at his stats, then I would talk more about it. So that's for me why I didn't mention Ali, right? I've seen Ali box, of course, in the replays, but I didn't see it live.
Sure.
I didn't see Russell live. I didn't see Kareem live. Like I have more of an appreciation for those who I've seen live because I feel I can speak more intelligently on the impact that they had and me being able to say like, man, listen, when Jordan dominated the Suns, like that was pure domination. Like I remember that from start to finish. Like it was no, you know what I'm saying? It was no off night for Jordan.
Gotcha.
So that's how I look at it.
I feel like big men in the NBA don't get enough love in general. And so I feel like Kareem is falling like right under that umbrella. Like he's accomplished everything you can accomplish as a basketball player. Like high school, college, NBA. But it's just it is what it is. Like when you ask like a lot of people, they're like top 5 of all time is always gonna be majority of that top 5 are gonna be a skill position. It's not, you're not gonna get somebody to say like a big man. They're gonna be like in the lower 10, like when you start mentioning like Shaq. Like Shaq is not gonna be in a lot of people's top 5, just simply because he was a center. He needed a guard.
I mean, Duncan got to be in people's top 5. Hakeem's got to be close.
I mean, I could see why, but I mean, I'm just looking at it from the aspect of like people are like, you got to get them the ball, right? You know what I mean? So I think that's where it falls. Is like we just don't show big men enough love in general. So that's why I feel like with Kareem, as far as basketball, I feel like he's the only other person in my eyes you could call like the GOAT. Like if somebody was to say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest basketball player of all time, I would not argue with them.
Which most of people do.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I feel like he's done enough in his career, but it's just the fact that he's a big man. He's not a skilled. And he had the most unstoppable move of all time. So nobody else can duplicate that move. Like we've seen Jordan's fadeaway. We've seen Kobe do the fadeaway. We've seen a lot of greats do the fadeaway after Mike.
Yeah.
We have not seen anybody do the hook shot.
Cool's got a decent skyhook.
Yeah, he might go 1 for 4. But Kareem was shooting over 50%. So, yeah, that's all I think it is. I think just with him being a big man, I just think, he don't get that love that, and we don't, as fans, give the big man enough love, especially with, the way the game's transcending right
And
now.
I feel like I was going to say that with the way the game's going now,
Yeah.
the big man going to fall out of the conversation. Yeah.
And I think that's. I hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, that's
I hope we
happening.
I hope we don't forget about how great the big. Well, I mean, some of the big men are some of the greatest now, though. Right now, you talk about Embiid, Davis, Jokic. I mean, they're top 12 players, top 15 players.
Look at the way their game is. It's not a Shaq. It's not a. It's not a.
There'll
It's
never
not a
be
Will.
another Shaq.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's not what we're like. It's not a Hakeem, low like in the post, and then like step like Hakeem to me made his money in the low post. He was able to hit the 15-foot, but his money was down low.
Right.
As much as you don't like David Robinson, his money was down low.
Yeah, face-up games too, though.
But
Yeah.
Majority of his money was down low. Shaq's money was down low.
I mean,
Wilt money was down low. Kareem money was down low. Like that's to me, that's big man. The
Yeah.
big man now, like, man, I'm seeing Embiid take 5 threes a game. You know what I'm saying? Catching the ball at the 3-point line, giving people up fakes, and then Euro step. That ain't no big man. That's a guard, bro. That's a 7-foot guard.
I like Embiid. You can't
I
say
do
Embiid
too.
a guard though.
No.
Embiid will take you down to the block.
He will, but that ain't where he make. That's to me. That's where he would make the most of his money.
Ain't where he live. But I mean, he down there though.
If he live there,
He down there punishing people.
if he live there, he'd be number one in my book in the game right now.
And he might end up being.
Nah. Soon as dude over there went number 0 with the other team. As he get healthy, so dude that went number 0.
Talk about Boogie.
Oh,
As soon as he get healthy,
He said, oh,
Talk about Boogie.
as soon as he get healthy, it's ugly.
Man, I mean, even when you mention Wilt, I look at all the stuff Wilt's accomplished, man. Come on, man.
Nobody
ever mentions Wilt.
Never.
but he couldn't beat Bill Russell in the finals.
He still got 2 rings though.
Yeah, he needs Jerry West to go get him the win.
Well, he got one before
We
that.
got one in Philly.
He got one in Philly. I know he got one in Philly.
Moses.
He needed Moses doing that
See.
one. Okay.
No, he won that one in Philly was early, like.
Yeah, that wasn't with Moses. Yeah,
No, that was 60s, bro.
Yeah, Moses wasn't there.
Yeah, that was 60s. Like,
Moses only won one. He won one with Dr. J.
Okay.
I'm saying, like, you forget.
Kareem wasn't on that team? I mean, not Kareem. Will wasn't on that team?
Nah.
He left
He
before
was
him?
fine. Yeah, his last year was with the Lakers.
Yeah, okay. Like,
He
early
died.
or mid.
He died with the Lakers, just like all the other superstars do.
But yeah, I mean, we don't mention him. He got like almost all of the records, like scoring rate. He's got crazy records. But while we talking about goats, it's a good time to go to goat talk.
Alright, so this week, our GOAT Talk is actually brought to us by
Shout him out,
our big homie Percy.
Fat Mackington.
Listener.
Yeah, one of our loyal
Go
listeners.
follow the Fat Mackington.
He actually got a podcast coming. It's called 3 Piece Fry Hard. I
That is
believe
correct.
so.
That is correct.
So be on the lookout for that podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But Percy gave us 2. So the 2 players we got this week, before I read their stats, I'm gonna give y'all their names. Player number A is Ed Reed, and then player B is Troy Polamalu.
Whew.
So Ed Reed, I'm gonna start with him. Of course, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. 9-time Pro Bowl, 5-time All-Pro, 1-time Super Bowl champ, 2004 AP Defensive Player of the Year. He had 64 total interceptions. He had 7 total touchdowns. He had 11 forced fumbles, 13 fumble recoveries. He had a total of 643 tackles, and he had 1 safety. And then Troy Polamalu is an 8-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, 2010 Defensive Player of the Year. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champ. He had 32 interceptions. He had 3 touchdowns. He had 14 forced fumbles, 7 fumble recoveries, and 778 tackles. No safety. That's interesting.
Hey, P, this was a good one, bro.
This was a good one.
How many tackles did Colin have?
Total, 778.
About 140 more than
Every.
Ed Reed. I go Troy. 145 to be exact.
Booth, who you saying you going with?
I go with Troy, man.
All right.
I seen both of them play live, man. Troy, and whew,
That's.
that Hawaiian play football, man.
What?
Them Hawaiians play
It
football.
do seem like the guys with a lot of hair always good on the defensive end, don't they?
Hawaiians.
Man. I don't know, bro. Eric.
I feel like Ed Reed was way better in coverage.
Way better.
Way better in coverage than Troy was.
Yeah.
But when you came up to the line and it came up to stopping the run, man, can't nobody even sniff on the safety position like Troy.
See, I think Troy, we remember the plays of him like jumping
over the
people.
line, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Even him bridging the gaps, like
Yeah, but Ed was doing that too.
yeah, but not like Troy.
It
though.
wasn't flashy.
Troy was. He getting untouched.
See, I think Troy's was just more flash, so we remember it.
I'm gonna go with Ed Reed. If I had to
Why?
pick, if I had to pick
Why?
one on my team, I'm gonna go with Ed Reed.
Why? I feel like you have no reason to why you think that. I feel like you have no reason.
I'm going with Ed Reed, bro.
I need to know why.
Do you have to have a reason?
Yes. I mean, if you pick of somebody, he'll take
Wait, let me ask this question before we get into that. Can I just say it's a stalemate?
Then you say, like, you don't have
I don't have a favorite. Like, this is probably the closest that we've ever had.
You a defensive guy, and you can't pick which one of these. Didn't you play defense?
Absolutely. But you ask it, so okay, let's put it all in perspective, right? Ed Reed was more of a free safety. Troy Polamalu was a strong safety.
Strong as hell.
So just off that alone, they have two different roles. So we know Troy was able to plug the gaps. You know, we know he was able to play close to the line and do those type of things because that's what you want a strong safety to do.
Mm-hmm.
A free safety, you want them to be that center fielder, to roam the back. You know what I'm saying? Roam the back, like be the last line of defense. And Ed Reed did that probably not better than, but up there with what Ronnie. So I mean, Jared. That's both of them was great at their position. Could Ed play strong safety? I think he could. So now my question becomes: can Ed play strong safety? I think he could have. Could Troy play free safety? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't, and I hate to do that to them because they just that damn good.
So to me, that sounds like you taking Ed Reed.
But I don't want to discredit Troy.
I mean, if you're looking at Troy, like when he came in the league, man, like his first year, he didn't start any games.
You can't get
We can't nitpick like that.
No,
we can't.
No,
Because if you look at Ed Reed, man, like he was, like if you're looking at games played,
If you're going off of that argument,
no, I'm not. What I'm saying,
automatically take Troy right now.
Hey.
If you're telling me a man has 140 more tackles and he didn't even start a game,
his rookie year.
This one, I'm not even gonna go with the numbers. I usually do, but I'm going with Ed Reed. It's
Black
History Month. It's Black History Month, and I'm going with the eye test. I'm going Ed Reed.
Bro, but like that's the thing. If you go
and that's not taking nothing from Polamalu.
I hate guys like you.
You just hate me.
You gonna take the guy because
he said because it's Black History Month.
Yeah, because he looked like you.
Hey man,
you gonna lose the open gym every night.
That's different.
He gonna get out there and be a bum.
Hey, I'm taking Ed Reed though.
I talk all this shit just to tell you I'm taking it. So
why you taking them?
All right,
you gave me all this flack.
All right, I did give you a lot of flack.
Yeah.
I just want to see your mind was. But before the Super Bowl came on, I don't know if A-Will had came down yet. They were doing a special just on some of the old players and the old guys. The guys, because Ed Reed just got voted on to the Hall of Fame. So they were talking about, a couple of the Hall of Fame guys. They had Bill Belichick and Tom Brady in a room talking about Ed Reed. And they were talking about a specific play where early in the game, Ed Reed playing the Colts, where Peyton Manning get called to play, and Ed Reed played it wrong on purpose. He played it wrong on purpose, knowing that Manning would come back to it later in the game. So Manning goes back to the same play.
Got it picked up.
Before the ball left his hand, Ed was already running that way. Yes, they showed the play. They showed the play. And before I'm talking about on the wind up, like
he was where the ball was going to be.
He was already running that way. Like he knew where it was going, and picked it off like he was a receiver.
Was it pick six?
No, he ended up returning it like 20 or 30 yards. But this is Belichick and Brady looking at the film, breaking it down, talking about how good he is and how you can't watch film on him because he will do stuff wrong on purpose.
That's crazy.
Because he knows you will go back to that play later in the game and he will have the entire heartbeat on it. And to me, that type of instinct
Yeah.
is stuff that you need and stuff that separates games.
you
You
can't
can't
teach
teach
that.
that. You can't
But
teach
see-
that.
but
And
see, I
but
don't-
Troy had that too, though.
I was gonna say
Troy
okay,
had
come
that
on.
too, but at the line.
Yeah.
But at the line, he had that at the line. He was able to stop, run. But when we're talking about game changers, like we're talking about.
But Troy had some game. Like Troy had where Troy made it.
You want to pick Troy, bro?
No, I just
It
don't
look like it. It's
Yeah,
because
I'm
of the
telling
long
you,
hair?
I can't.
Is it because of the long hair?
I can't call it.
Ed Reed has like the second most like return
Yeah,
like touchdowns
touchdowns.
in NFL history.
It's
So,
Ed Reed,
I mean, if it's in the air, he gets it, and he gets a hand on it. It
No need to defend
It
Troy
goes out.
anymore, bro.
I mean,
I just want to call it stalemate, man.
Hey,
I'm
I
not
know
even-
try to give you all that flack, man.
I just want to get you a little riled up, man. You know,
Man.
What the listeners saying online? we got everybody online.
Man.
They ain't saying, they ain't commenting.
They'll see it.
Okay,
They'll see it.
but yeah, you
Give
know.
me a hard time. Ed Reed.
I'm gonna go ahead.
So we 3-0.
Yeah, we 3-0.
Thank you, man. Please.
We 3-0.
Oh,
Just want to see what. Just
Hey,
want to see
listen,
what y'all
Troy
mind.
ain't that's a
Troy wasn't no
close.
slouch, man.
No,
Troy wasn't.
No, that's
no
very
slouch.
close.
Oh, man.
That's very
Hell
close.
no.
Man, listen,
That was very close.
that might have been the toughest go talk.
That was very close. That
Definitely was close. Definitely was close.
was a good one. Thanks,
Definitely was
Pete.
close.
Thanks, Pete. We appreciate that.
Man, we need to take some listeners go talks.
Yeah.
Maybe going forward. Maybe take
Oh yeah.
a couple listeners go talks, man.
No Jordan versus LeBrons, please. Okay, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Okay. I just want to put that disclaimer
everybody
out
else
there.
do it.
No, man, no, that's better 6 rings than LeBron flops. No, none of that. None
If
of that.
LeBron, okay, so LeBron, if the Lakers make the playoffs, LeBron wins the NBA championship. We're not gonna talk about LeBron and
We're
Jordan.
gonna come right back to it. I'm gonna have a jersey half Lakers, half Bulls, and we're gonna talk about it. And since we're talking about NBA and we're talking about LeBron, let's talk about these Lakers. AD trade saga, man. The Pelicans want it all. Brand new socks and draws. How many picks did they want? 5?
8.
They want 8 picks.
4 first round and 4 second round picks.
Plus they want 20 players.
I don't even know where to start with this. The Lakers still are engaging in talks with them, but it's at the point now Magic Johnson has pulled out and said we're not going to keep like
Betting against ourselves.
betting against ourselves. Like y'all gonna have to make a counter offer. So does Anthony Davis get traded to the Lakers in the next couple days? Does it happen?
Yes.
Mm.
Only reason being the Celtics have not guaranteed Tatum in discussions in July. And there's no way the Pelicans can take that risk and think that the Lakers offer is still going to be on the table. Like they just can't do it. Like
Right.
imagine, come on, man. We all know Matt Johnson's a businessman. He's almost worth $1 billion for a reason. He knows how to do business. He knows how to negotiate deals, and he knows how to get the best deal that he can get. And he's not going to just give in and give you whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're gonna give you what we need to get what we need, but at the same time, he's not gonna overstretch himself. Like, come on, now, it's Magic Johnson. Like, we're not talking about a pushover president of basketball operations. We're not talking about a guy who doesn't know not only the basketball of it, but also the financials of it too. Like,
Yeah.
this guy knows it all. Like, he is a billionaire for a reason. And Rob Pelinka ain't no pushover either. I mean, he's negotiated deals for Kobe,
Yeah.
James Harden. Like, I mean, come on, man. He knows the finances of it too. The Pelicans cannot wait on the Celtics. They just can't. They just can't. I mean, I don't care how many picks the Celtics have. We were just talking about that. They got 4 picks,
6.
3 from other teams,
Yep.
including their own. But if Tatum's not on the deal, man, they offering Jaylen Brown.
Rozier.
They can't even offer
Yeah,
Rozier. Rozier's
yeah.
gonna want that money. He's gonna be a free agent.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. Like you can't tell me that Lonzo, Ingram, and Kuzma aren't worth more than
Tatum.
Tatum and 3 picks.
And you forgetting Lonzo, Ingram, Kuzma, and 2 first rounds.
Yes, and you're gonna get 2 first round
You still
picks.
gonna get 2 first rounds.
Glad you said that.
And say the Lakers don't make the playoffs this year,
That's a pretty good pick.
which could happen. I mean, I'm speaking as a Laker fan. I would hate to see it happen.
Your energy is off.
It is off, but it's a possibility. Like if you're the Pelicans, you have to look at that. Like they're 2.5 back after the loss tonight, and it's a possibility in the Wild Wild West that they might not make it. That pick might be worth something this year. I mean, obviously they ain't gonna be worth anything next year because
Yeah.
once they get AD and they get another guy, like it's over, it's a wrap. Like they're gonna be good. I don't care what it is. But Rachel Nichols actually said something very interesting in the Kobe Tracy McGrady interview. She says, I find it a big coincidence that Kobe tore his Achilles at 34 and LeBron just had his
Longest
outstanding injury
Yep.
at 34. Like LeBron being healthy, like going forward, it might not be. He might have to rest more games than he's normally rested. Like, so I mean, who knows what the pick is going to be? Like, right?
You talking about this year?
Talking about this year. I'm talking about this year.
Okay.
So I mean,
Oh,
You
that's
talking about if they do trade him this year?
yes.
You don't know. So what you're saying is, if the Lakers get Anthony Davis this year, they still might not make the playoffs.
It's a possibility. I mean,
no,
Come on,
no.
let's
I mean,
stop.
it's a possibility.
Stop.
It's not a good one.
It's a possibility.
Anthony
You,
Davis.
if we're getting ready to give you all of LA for this man, and you think that they not gonna make the playoffs,
Anthony Davis and LeBron
Possibility.
James together are definitely making the playoffs.
they can't get a top 8 seed.
They are definitely making the
They're
playoffs
2.5 back now.
without Anthony Davis
Absolutely.
and LeBron James missed what 18 games?
I think it's 16.
Okay, 16 games.
Well, 17 because of low
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
So he missed 17 games.
Load management.
Oh yeah, you weren't there.
I saw
Yeah,
it,
you
man.
weren't there.
I mean, I saw it. Kawhi missed some. This should do the load.
But think about that.
Yeah,
Just
they-
think about that. They 2.5 back. LeBron missed 17 games without Anthony
they
Davis.
got to retool that roster. Like, I mean, I know we talk about like,
Oh boy, that roster retool gonna come faster than minute rice.
I mean, we say that. I mean, but the rumors that I've been hearing is that there's like 5 teams interested in Wes Matthews.
No, we ain't. Listen, I ain't talking about West.
I mean,
So-
there's teams interested in DeAndre Jordan.
I ain't
Like,
talking about him either.
I mean, it's like who else we gonna get? Like,
Melo.
we gotta get more than Melo.
So
Caruso's gonna be our point guard. If we get rid of him.
glad you're saying that. Are the Lakers giving up too much for Anthony Davis if they do pull this off? Are they like? Because we've seen it before.
Which trade though?
But like either one, man. Either where it's the picks or you giving up that young core. Because we've seen Denver and that Denver Melo deal. We've seen them gut a team to get Melo in his prime years, only to and those Denver teams ended up being pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pretty respectable. While the Knicks had a few good years and then they were right back not making the playoffs.
Yeah, but I don't think the Knicks I never really so at first I liked the deal, right? But then when I'm looking back at it, Chauncey was a part of that deal. Chauncey was older.
We tore his Achilles that year.
Yeah.
That messed everything up.
And then they had JR, they had Iman. Iman wasn't always healthy. And JR, listen, he has a good year 1 year, and then we don't know what happens after that. Amari Stoudemire started declining quickly.
Injuries too.
Injuries.
But that's what I'm saying. He started declining. So hindsight, I didn't hate that trade when it went down. But when you go back and revisit the trade, it only was bad for the Knicks because of what happened. Everybody started getting hurt, and they didn't have, they when they were healthy, they made the playoffs. When they weren't healthy, it was a struggle to make it.
They were a 3 seed 1 year.
Yeah. And they almost made. Did they play in the East? No.
In the second round, they lost to the Pacers.
There you go.
They lost to the Pacers.
So and I said this morning in our group chat, right? If I'm the Lakers and the Pelicans are asking for Ball, Ingram, Kuzma, Beasley, Lance,
Oh my
and 4 first rounders, I'd give it up. I would give it up. And the reason I would give it up is because if I'm the Lakers, now I have Anthony Davis. I already know he's going to resign. I got LeBron locked up for 3 years, and I still have enough money to go get a max player this summer. And if I get a max player this summer, I have him locked up for 4 years. So at worst, those 4 first rounders are going at worst, best, whatever. Those 4 first rounders are going to be late picks. Period. They're going to be late picks. They're going to be in the upper teens. And I still, think about it, when LeBron's contract is up, I still will have AD under contract. I still will have another player, I'll just say Kyrie, under contract. And now I've opened up LeBron's max slot to be able to go and get somebody else. So I would put
tough.
it's tough, but when you think about it, when you legit think about it, you still are like Magic this year. Like since Magic has been there, Magic has been putting the Lakers in position for these type of moves. And if he pulls in Davis, he still has enough money to go get another max player. And the way their contracts would be staggered would be amazing. Because you would just be reeing up. Like, you know what I'm saying? One or two players.
Be kind of Golden State like.
Absolutely.
My thing with AD, man, the only thing with AD is you do all of this stuff for this dude, and he has shown a track record of not being healthy. Like, he has to play. Like, he can't be, like, getting hurt. Like, missing a couple weeks. Like, you about to gut your entire team. You giving them first-round picks. Yo, this dude can't be like AD's missing 20, 25 games, and everything is back on Bron, and they get another max guy. No, man, AD, like, he's got to stay healthy at this point.
So let me ask this, because I did see this. Would AD pairing himself for LeBron, just let's say if the trade happens before Thursday, him pairing himself for LeBron, he doesn't have to do as much. He doesn't have to go as hard. Does that allow him to stay healthy?
You ever seen his injuries?
Yes, I've seen a lot of it.
He ain't got nothing to do with management. The man is the glass man. The man go up for a rebound, come down on his ankle. He in the locker room for the rest of the game.
But sometimes, so I guess what I'm asking is, do y'all feel like Anthony Davis sometimes does a lot, or he's pushing himself to the limit because he probably feels like if I ain't putting up these outlandish numbers, we don't have a shot? Because we've seen Bron, especially you and I, Ray. We've watched Bron sometimes. He'll play a game and the ball is in the air and we like, dude, go grab the rebound. And he'll just let somebody else grab it. Or he'll just sit there and watch it. And it'd be like, come on, man. You could have had that. Like, sometimes he knows when to go for something and when not to. Do you not think that Davis feels like I always got to go for it?
I just feel like he's just way more athletic than a lot of people in his position. And he tends to come down on people's ankles a lot. He twists his ankle a lot. He has back issues sometimes. He falls the wrong way. Like, it's just he probably just needs to add a little bit more muscle, to be honest with you, like to where he doesn't have to like out jump people. He doesn't have to go so much vertical, play so much vertical than he already does.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I'm with Ray, man. I mean, he has some freak injuries, man, and it's just like
you gut your team for this dude, man.
All right, enough is enough. Like, and you'd be lucky if we do get him this year. Like, you actually get him on a discount.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna be getting him on a discount. The thing you do to make like $32 million, like the last year's contract, that's a discount. Yeah. You should be making middle 40s in today's NBA.
Yeah.
He does have to stay healthy. The one good thing is that they aren't asking for any of our centers.
Yeah.
They literally aren't asking for any of our centers. They don't want Zubac anymore. Why? I do not know why, but that's fine. It's okay with us. I guess they got Okafor playing pretty well now, so they probably have their young guy. They're not asking for McGee. They're not asking for Chandler. So we'll be able to keep a backup for him.
And he doesn't have to start the game playing a 5.
And to me, if you can have
McGee.
McGee come
And-
off the bench and you can have Davis start. Like, that's all the rim protection you need
Yeah.
on the defensive side of the ball, and then you can still get the same type of rim roller that you have in both of them. And McGee's not going to play that many minutes anyways. I mean, even though they were overextending him in the beginning of the year, but they haven't been doing lately. To me, there's just like a, kind of an insurance deal. I think you can still sign McGee for the $4 or $5 million that they signed him for next year.
So let me ask this. So if you were Magic, do you completely back out knowing that the Pelicans are just being ridiculous and asking for 8 picks and 4 players? Do you completely back out and say, let's try this again in the summer? And I know in the summer, now the offer that I'm coming with you is 2 of these young guys and a pick.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, there's just
So punt this season and wait till the summer.
4 picks is too much. Like, 4 picks is too much. Even if you get them, you're not winning an NBA championship this year.
Right.
Like, you're just not. Like, you're not. I mean, you're just not.
Dude.
I mean,
Yeah.
wait till the summer. Take one of those young guys out of the deal, which they will, and they will have the opportunity to, because they can offer 2 young guys and 3 picks, and that's going to be more than what Boston can offer. Maybe they can offer Brown and Tatum. But to be honest with you, if they offer Brown and Tatum and the 3 picks that they have, they ain't winning none either.
No.
Like, they ain't winning none either. Like, you talking about trying to win a championship with possibly Kyrie,
Maybe.
and they're talking about going after Kyrie. They're talking about going after Davis even if Kyrie leaves.
Yeah.
They're talking about going after him even if Kyrie leaves. There's no way if Kyrie leaves, Anthony Davis will stay there. He's already not on their list. Oh, that's another thing for the Lakers. Boston ain't even on his list.
Yeah, and
And his dad came out and said those comments.
wait.
and said,
But not even that. The list is laughable to me. Like, Milwaukee doesn't have nothing they can offer outside of Giannis, right? The Clippers, they're not offering anything.
They will offer it on the summer, though. The Clippers have said that, though. They will offer in the summer.
Okay, so the Clippers are offering something. And then what was the Knicks?
Knicks.
The Knicks.
Knicks
Well,
won.
they declined the Porzingis trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, they declined it. The Pelicans didn't want it.
I mean, dude, like,
But I mean, it makes sense though. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of it is they want them to lean towards the Lakers. I mean,
They
honestly.
want that.
But at the same time, the Bucks offer makes sense. I mean, pairing him with Giannis, like, all right, that's a super team in the East.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
what pieces outside of Giannis do the Bucks have?
I mean, they're looking at Middleton. They're probably looking at Middleton, Bledsoe,
Middleton a free agent.
Brogdon, a couple picks. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they can do it. I mean, they just don't want to do it. Why would they do it? They got to go the best record in the league.
Yeah, but I mean,
They
if
blow
I'm,
their
the
team for Anthony Davis.
if I'm the Pelicans and you offer me Middleton a free agent.
I mean, it'd probably be a sign and trade, though, to be honest with you.
Oh, you saying in the summer, not now?
Well, I mean, he just said this is their team that he would sign an extension with.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, whether they work that out in the summertime or they work that out, whenever
That
they
man
do
ain't
it.
signing no extension without that team being the Lakers.
I mean, to me, Danny Ainge is being Danny Ainge, the asshole that he is, and he just wants to make life hard for the Lakers.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's a Celtic guy, so we know he doesn't want the Lakers to overcome him, and he knows. Even though I've heard that the Kyrie stuff is kind of laughable, like I've heard rumors that the Kyrie to LA stuff is laughable.
Yeah.
Like, he knows that LA will be first in line for Kyrie. Like, I mean, he knows. I mean,
Oh yeah.
and Ainge ain't no idiot. Like, even when the Celtics were down, like, they weren't down long.
Yeah.
He knows how to retool and re-get them back to where they need to be. But he just wants to make life hard for the Lakers. And Stephen A. said it too. He said nobody wants to see Rich Paul win. Nobody wants to see LeBron win. We're talking about owners, we're talking about players, and we're talking about agents.
Yeah.
So they got everything working against them. He said it has nothing to do with Magic. It has everything to do with LeBron. It has everything to do with Rich Paul and how they do business and how they're trying to force teams into trading guys way earlier than they normally would,
Yep.
and agents and owners don't like it.
So with Magic, like with this previous offseason, he's shown that, like, he's been patient enough, right? He's been patient. He could have made a move, tried to do something this previous summer. He has the opportunity right now to pull this trade off. But I'm with you. If they asking for all these picks, man, like, just chill, man. Like, you weren't gonna win a championship this year anyway. Next year is your play. Next year is your play. What is this? The Lakers are close to acquiring Reggie Bullock from the Pistons. And they got interest in Jabari.
They do have it.
They have interest in Jabari.
But I think the Jabari, I read earlier, the Jabari deal is more so if they get Davis. So that would be like a last minute type deal.
I actually like the Reggie Bullock move. I mean, it's as much as people are going to.
Does that mean they're going to move KCP?
I mean, Reggie Bullock is a knockdown shooter. I mean,
So
Where did he go to school at?
He's a Tar Heel.
Yes, sir.
We talk about the Lakers needing shooting all the time.
Oh,
But we talk about the Lakers. I mean,
What's up, brother? What's that, brother?
he's Carolina Blue. all
He's
the way.
Carolina Blue all day.
But what we talk about is like we talk about like the Lakers needing shooting. Like Reggie Bullock is a shooter, and he's a better shooter than probably anybody on the roster. To be honest with you,
They get Reggie Bullock. That means they're gonna somebody's.
and fee.
Yeah, they get, that's who they trading Bullock.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. That's
Speed.
Okay.
yeah, that's an automatic deal. That's an
Yeah.
automatic deal. Do it. Period.
But yeah,
But back to you said Jabari. That I read. That's more so
If they
get Davis, then they'll move KCP for Jabari.
Well, they gotta have KCP permission because he got no trade clause.
did he?
Yeah.
He
Rich
was
Paul,
Rich
Rich Paul, man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
LeBron's
right.
on me.
Contract
LeBron is
killer.
on me. Come on, man. No, LeBron is on me. That's LeBron.
My goodness,
He shouldn't even
man,
be on contract for $12 million anyway.
dude.
We just gave him $25 million the year before that.
I'm pretty sure they get him to waive that. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, they
I'm
gonna
pretty sure.
look. Brian Television.
Nice email. I'm pretty sure they get him to remove that.
Brian Bullock called him over to the house. Hey, listen, man. Listen, it was fun.
But you gotta go.
You got to go.
So yeah, I think something's gonna happen, man. Expect the unexpected.
You said that.
Expect the unexpected, man. Pelicans might come with a counter offer. They might be just, trying to play hardball. Then here comes early morning on February 7th. Anthony Davis. Yeah.
They will definitely do it in the morning time. They won't wait till the
Look.
last second of the free agency.
You know what I'm saying?
Unless they really fucking with us.
Yeah, wipe the spackle out your eye and Anthony Davis is moving to LA. You know what I'm talking
Unless
about?
they really messing with us.
Man, look, man. Yeah, I still think a deal is going to get done because they've been too. I don't know. I just feel like it's been.
Come on, man. He doesn't want to sign. He doesn't want to sign with the Celtics. They're not offering Tatum. What other choice do they have? They have no other offers.
But also, I think one thing we overlooking, Anthony Davis could have played yesterday, and they held
Could
him
have
out.
played today, and then they held him out again.
Oh, they
today.
held him out again
They
today.
held him out again today. Yeah, he was questionable all day, and then they held him out. He was inactive.
Yeah.
So he is. Something's gonna happen. Either they're gonna
Show
tell
him
him. Either
the
they're
rest
gonna
of the
tell him to go away for the rest of the year and go about your business, or they can trade him tomorrow. So
And I think Lakers are able to get AD. I think a lot of chips will fall in place as far as like pieces that they can get. Like we see right now, Reggie Bullock. I think you'll see KCP get moved. I think you're going to see Carmelo sign as fast as he can. And I think you'll probably see them get Jabari. So I think the only other question would be if they're able to keep Rondo.
gotta keep Rondo.
If you're able to keep Rondo in the midst of all this
But
chaos.
see, I think that's one thing I read earlier. I think Rondo's staying.
Yeah, if they can
I
keep
think Rondo's
Rondo,
staying.
I
your
don't know why the Pelicans would want him. They didn't want him They didn't want to re-sign him this year.
you didn't want to let the man run point for you when you have him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They'd rather let Elf off the shelf.
So yeah, like I think if they can keep Rondo and they gut their core, give a few picks, you keep Rondo, you got Bullock, you get a Melo, you keep all your centers. So now you got the length. You know what I mean? And that's not even, you can possibly pair AD and JaVale in a lineup together depending on what type of team you face.
Go get DeAndre. He's gonna get waived.
Is he? Did they say he's gonna get waived?
That's gonna happen. That's gonna
So
happen.
I mean, I actually think if they get AD, a lot of chips will start to fall in place.
Marc Gasol is sitting out tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's inactive.
Yeah.
I think Conley played though.
Well, they said the Grizzlies and the Hornets are still discussing framework of deal, including matching salaries necessary to meet Gasol's $24.1 million.
Get Kemba some
So
help.
that would be the Batum. They would move Batum obviously,
Move him.
and probably MKG.
Yo, get Kemba some help. Get him some help.
Why? Just so he can leave?
Who? How many years you got left?
This is
This
last
is-
year.
yeah,
Last year?
Yeah, he's gone. He's not coming. He's not going back there.
I mean, you at least do this if you're the Hornets to at least show him like, hey man.
Why Marcus all going to leave this year summer too? He's
Hey
a
man,
free
I'm
agent
just
too.
saying, man. Show Mike some love, man. Mike trying over there in Charlotte.
Nah, man, he ain't trying hard enough.
You might be right. So we gonna move on. We got a segment that we gonna do every show this month for Black History Month. We are going to put the spotlight. One of us is gonna put the spotlight on a black athlete. This week, Five is gonna kick it off. Five, what do you have for us? What can you let us know? Give us. Oh, you good?
Me.
You good?
Excuse me.
Oh my God.
Oh man. So my African American athlete of the month is going to be Althea Gibson,
Okay.
who is the first African American tennis player to win a Grand Slam.
Okay.
She won the French Open in 1956, which is very impressive. She went on to win 11 other Grand Slams. She won the Wimbledon Championship 2 times. She won the U.S. Open twice. And then she also had a couple doubles championships in there too. So shout out to her. She's from South Carolina. She won her first championship, like I said, in 1956. So that's obviously doing a pretty tough stretch
Man,
in
bro.
African American history.
Yeah.
So,
Lakers at it.
I mean, to be able to overcome that, especially over there, especially over in France, is a really big deal. So I just wanted to give her a quick shout out and, give tennis some love too, man, because, African Americans out there doing it in the tennis world too.
Not only did you have to worry about just playing the sport, right? That was secondary compared to what they were going through with segregation, Jim Crow, like the threats that I know she probably received, like to be able to still play at that high of a level. You got guys that can't play at a high level now because they mad at the coach, because they feel like they can't feed their kids, because they not getting the ball.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, go through something like this, right? It puts everything into perspective.
Yeah.
And she won her first championship at 29.
Come on.
Like 29. Like we got professional tennis players at 16, 17 playing now. To win your first one at 29 is pretty incredible. And she came from South Carolina too, so she came from them segregated streets herself. So she definitely knew about the struggle. So now congratulations to her and her family. And that's, like I said, that's a big, big achievement.
I like that one, man. That's a good way to kick it off, man.
Thank you, man.
I like that, man.
Heartfelt.
Yeah, man. We'll be back next week. I don't know which one of us is going to go. Who's going next week?
You are.
I'm going to go next week? Okay, cool. I got one for y'all.
You got Michael Jordan.
No. Bro, don't be disrespectful, bro. Stop disrespecting the GOAT, all right?
I didn't
Don't do that, man. I still got to watch that 30 for 30, though.
Deion.
If you haven't, watch the 30 for 30 on Deion.
I still gotta watch it.
Dude, the bits and pieces that I did see.
Man, amazing.
Shout out to Atlanta, man. Atlanta was a zoo for Super Bowl weekend.
How long did it take you to go 3 miles?
Dude, it's 30 minutes to go everywhere, bro. 30 minutes, bro. Literally 30 minutes. Like, you don't even look at the distance. Like, we were going somewhere, and it was telling us we were going to take 3 miles.
Yeah.
It was 3 miles.
Yeah.
30 minutes, bro.
Hey, let me just ask you a question. One question.
What's that?
Did y'all ever get out the car and regroup?
No, we didn't, bro. We didn't have to do that this time, bro. We might have needed you with us. We didn't. No, we didn't. But yeah, 30 minutes, bro. It took 30 minutes.
To go 3 miles?
To go 3 miles. My sister was, her and her fiance, they were coming with us behind us, and my sister Raven was like, "No, we going to get some ramen. We not going 30 minutes."
Dang.
Traffic was crazy.
That's
I
cool.
saw a lot of Bears fans. Hardly saw any Rams fans, but
The Rams fans in St. Louis,
Bro.
man.
well,
They left St.
it was a
Louis.
million Patriots jerseys. Like, a million. I'm pretty sure if you stole somebody's Tom Brady jersey, they had another one in their back pocket. Like, it was a million Patriots jerseys. But it was a good time. Next year, it's in Miami.
We going?
Hell yeah, sounds like a trip I can make.
Live all Sunday. Can't go to King Browns.
Can't get out of the club, man.
Oh, man.
They'll be open. They'll be back open. They'll be back open by that time. Trust me.
Business is booming. Man, y'all go ahead and follow us on social media, man. Goodfellas Podcast on Facebook. Make sure y'all check us out on the YouTube page, Goodfellas Podcast, spelled with a 3 instead of an E. Follow us on Twitter, Goodfellas87, and on Instagram, Goodfellas Podcast. Y'all got anything y'all want to add?
Just Maya Moore. She's not playing basketball this year.
I did see that.
She's actually going to focus on ministry.
Mm.
That's something that's near and dear to her heart, and something that she's always wanted to do. So she's going to step away from the game of basketball, focus on ministry.
Them checks ain't big enough. Equal pay, y'all. That's what she really telling y'all.
Man.
Equal pay. All right.
That's news right there.
So the Lakers are
That's all
trading
today.
The Lakers are trading Svi and a second round pick for Reggie Bullock.
Here it
I'm okay
goes.
with that.
There goes one pick down. 5 more to go.
I'm okay with that.
5 more to go. Reggie Bullock, Tar Heel. North Carolina won tonight too, by the way. Beat NC State.
Yeah,
For all my Tar Heel fans out there. I can't wait till we play Duke.
And better news,
I can't wait till we play Duke.
I can't believe we haven't played y'all yet already.
they playing February. They
Yeah,
always play in February.
It
and
just
the
seems
last
longer
game
though
of the
because everybody thirsty for that
Crazy,
for the hype.
man.
I don't know what y'all ready to get beat that bad?
Yeah, y'all say that every year.
Yeah,
Who gonna stop Zion?
it's a rivalry, bro. When you have a rivalry game, people are gonna play out. Like we gonna have players on our team.
Luke May just gave y'all his season high, right?
It's gonna be
Right there.
somebody else.
What Luke May had
He
tonight?
get ready 31-12.
Oh, that's it right there. That's his highest
It's
Getting
gonna
performance.
ready for y'all.
Yeah, it's gonna be somebody else that's
Ready
done
for
nothing
y'all.
all year to have a career game against Duke, just because of the rivalry, and you're gonna be looking just like you're looking right now. Yep, that's exactly how you're gonna be looking. So
I need to know who your connect is. Because I need whatever you got.
you need to stop disrespecting Jordan. You need to stop disrespecting these Tar Heels, okay? Because what Barkley said is gonna be some furniture.
Well, get to moving.
All right, so if you got something you want to add, Fire?
Yeah, man, I got something I want to add, man. I got some shout outs, man. I want to shout out 80 Proof Chicago, man.
Gang.
We was there last weekend for my fiance's
Hey,
birthday.
man, that look live.
Oh yeah, it was a little turn, man. It was a little turn. Cop ride was a little while back, you know. That's
another
story. But nah, man. Shout out to them. My fiance, she had her 31st birthday.
Gang.
You know, we Aquarius gang over here. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Wave gang. You know,
Wavy.
my birthday in a week.
Gang.
Mine in a week, too.
Will birthday in a week too. So you know, we Aquarius gang.
Way too many
man.
birthdays.
We gang life of it. You know.
Way too many birthdays.
Wave gang. But nah, man. Shout out to 80 Proof. Shout out to my fiance on the happy birthday, and shout out to all the Aquariuses out there too, man. We out here.
I ain't mad at that. Man. Shout out to the Aquarius. Y'all like. Y'all like.
You surrounded by them, so you better
Need
be
a hug, bro.
Y'all like, man. The only reason that y'all like is because ain't Jordan in Aquarius?
Yes, he is.
That's the only reason you okay in my book. You got that? All right. Cool. I'm cool with it. I always remember Jesus was a Capricorn. And on that note, we will holler at y'all next week, everybody. Love, life.